Hello again, everyone. Hope you are well. On this Monday afternoon, it is August the 26th, and the heat is back on us here in Georgia. But fall is on the way, hopefully. But we'll deal with it, right? Several things to cover with you. I also have a very good passage that I will share with you towards the end of the video. It's very encouraging, so do stay tuned for that. Two main things to cover. Missing in action. I'll go into that. Missing in action. Where is he? Also, you will own nothing. You hear this phrase a lot. That was uttered by that three-letter organization that starts with a W and ends with an F. Anyway, I was doing some research earlier, and this article kind of interested me anyway. Because it focused on home ownership, rental, as opposed to what's going on and the trend that we are seeing. Now this, at first it focused on Atlanta, but this is the same. It really applies to most metro areas in the United States. For an example, in Atlanta, in a lot of fairly recently built neighborhoods in Atlanta metro, 25 to 30% of the homes are owned by Wall Street landlords, Wall Street firms that will rent them out. They don't just rent them out, they also could facilitate lawn care service, amenities, all kinds of other stuff that they make just millions and billions on. They said that Wall Street firms have stepped in to acquire tens of thousands of homes in over the United States, not just Atlanta. They've purchased 65,000 homes, 65,000 homes in the last 10 years. Now, most of that has been between the year 2022 to the present. Now, if we widen that out to the United States, 33% of, now this was in January, as of January, 33% of all homes bought in the United States were bought by investors. 33%, y'all. Think about that. Were bought by investors. Most were Wall Street firms, investors. And they're not necessarily buying the multi-million-dollar homes. They're buying starter homes, and they're renting them out, single-family homes, and just rent them. And this is a continuing trend. They say that their goal, BlackRock is a big one, of course. There's others. They're similar. Their goal is to own 40% of all single-family homes in the United States, y'all, within the next 5 years. 40% of all single-family homes in the next 5 years. Like I said, it's a growing trend. I think we're in a transition for sure. Not a good one. Back in the day, one parent could work and in most cases be able to purchase a home, even a modest home at least, and be fine and live the American dream. That dream is gone right now. That dream has been robbed, in my opinion. And that's part of disappearing the middle class. So you have a generation that is priced out of and probably not going to be able to own their own home. Now, a good portion of them aren't interested in that, but a lot of them are. And Ms. Dawg and I have been talking a lot about the trend and the cost, the increasing cost of having and owning a home, and that politically, if we don't see a change, with this election, and we see more of the same and worse, and it keeps ramping up, this is not sustainable. We're going to have to make tough decisions, hard decisions. If you factor in several things: inflation, homeowners insurance. So inflation, your insurance, your taxes, your property taxes, cost to have, your upkeep on a home. You can't just call somebody and have something fixed. You got to do it yourself or hire it out. Lawn maintenance. Like I said, property taxes, that alone is killing people. It's ripping them to pieces. And a lot of people are losing homes just from that. That's all part of a plan. But what can you do? What are you going to do? You know? You got to live somewhere. I think another trend is going to be, in a lot of cases, not every case, it's everybody's situation is different, but multifamily or multi-generational homes. Pool the resources, if you can, if that's even an option. But think about that: 40% of all single-family homes in the next 5 years they want to own. That is the Wall Street firms, the investors, and rent them out. You want to talk about fleecing? But that's another big reason that we're keeping such an eye on November. I don't know. Yeah, share y'all's thoughts on that. The other thing, where is he? Where's the president, Ben? Are you still the president? Are you still even pretending to be the president? I mean, you dropped out. What was that? A month ago or so, and you dropped out of the race to be reelected. But it's almost like he dropped out of being president. I mean, from what I understand, from what I remember, you just said that you were dropping out of the race to be reelected, not still be the president. So which is it? I mean, because from what we can tell, you ain't president. I mean, I know that's probably been the case for a while. I get that. But nowadays, it's out in the open. It's not even being hidden. It's outwardly. Constant vacations, long weekends. Where are you, man? Where are you? Come on, man. I mean, and he said that he was going to declare, he declared that ending the Gaza war was going to be his top priority before he left office. I don't think so. I mean, he said that was a goal, but I don't think that's going to be realized. Since he dropped out in late July, he's had no less than 2 vacations. Every weekend is turned into long weekends, either in Delaware or Camp David. And he's on vacation again now, back to Delaware. At the beach, eating ice cream. I don't know what else. I don't know, eating some pudding. I don't know what he's doing. But they say they claim that the president is closely monitoring things as far as all the stuff going on with the wars and such. Closely monitoring things. I don't buy it. I think he's closely monitoring what ice cream he's going to get next. I think that's more of what's going on. But all the while, meanwhile, you got wars raging. You got the Middle East just heated up more this past weekend, over the weekend. The match is lit there. It's just depending on how big the fire is going to get. Still got hostages in Gaza somewhere if the poor souls are still alive. And you're chilling on the beach with ice cream, kicking it up. Yeah. Not even hiding in the basement anymore. So you got wars, you got hostages, you got wars in Europe too, which no signs of even close to being settled. There was even an incident in Poland where a missile went into Poland over the weekend. And so that's becoming, the tensions are higher and higher there. They're just becoming higher. And then you got Asia. I ain't even talked about Asia with China and the tensions there, North Korea. You got hot spots all over the place. You got bombs falling all over the place. You got threats of nuclear attacks coming and going. Who's minding the store? Who's who we know it's not Brandon, but I don't know. I keep asking that question. Who's running things? A lot of people will say Barry O, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. He that seems above him. He would have to step down to be able to want to do something like that. You know what I mean? So there's other people. I think there's another little group of minions that are just, like I've said this before, the real scary possibility is that nobody's really running things, and it's just a group of people just doing whatever they want to do. Biden handlers, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. I saw a picture of supposedly his little team, his little handlers. They look like a group of kids that just graduated from college, if that. Kids are running the store. Clueless kids, I'm sure. Closely monitoring things. What a bunch of dogs. Squeeze. That's a big squeeze right there. I think it's despicable, though. All jokes aside, it's despicable. You know, the president of the United States is supposed to be the most stressful job in the world. You're the leader. You're the leader of the free world, basically. In a way. Even Trump was talking about it, railing on him. Trump said, who's negotiating for us in the Middle East? It's a good question. Who is negotiating for us in the Middle East? Bombs are dropping all over the place. Fair question. The man missing in action. How much time does he spend in the Oval Office? Does he get briefings? You know, optics are, when you're a leader, when you are the leader, especially in this position, but any leader, optics and, perception is everything. You got to be present at least most of the time. You got to be present and in charge. At least act like you're in charge. Fake it. You ain't even doing that. I mean, ain't no way he knows what's going on anywhere right now. Somebody has to come up and tell him. If he can even understand that, I don't know. Y'all tell me. I'm confused. The scary part about this is, and the main reason I make a big deal out of it is, with all the hot spots and wars and things we've got going on, and situations that could become a national security crisis for us in a moment's notice, who's stepping in? Who's stepping in? Who's got the nuclear codes? Who's got the football? I know they say the football's supposed to be at his side all the time. Somebody's always carrying it. Are they? I don't know. And if they are, would they be able to wake him up and explain who's going to make that decision? Who's going to actually crack the little thing and, and make the call? You got minutes to decide in a nuclear crisis. I'm not confident he can do it. Who is going to do it? I don't know. A lot of questions. It's just kind of scary to think about. I think about these kind of things. That's what I do. So let's keep preparing, because heaven forbid, and I don't, who knows, but heaven forbid you wake up one morning and you're not going to be able to go to the store and get something, because they're already going to be full of people in a panic over what's going on. So the more we are prepared, the more that we are staying on top of our preps, the less we have to worry about that. Okay? At least we have that. All right, I'm going to a passage. Matthew, from the words of Jesus, Matthew chapter 5, verse 10, part of the Sermon on the Mount, preaching of the King. Verse 10 says, "Blessed are those who have been persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Amen. And, that's putting it pretty simple. It's just straightforward that just as he was persecuted, we could be. That's possible. It's very possible, especially in light of current events and trends. in this country. You know, Christians are, we're fast becoming, I don't know what the word is, outcasts maybe? Maybe that's the word that comes to mind first, outcasts, targets. And it is written that that will be the case. So we are seeing that. We've got to stay strong. We got to stay strong in the faith now. We can't turn. The Bible says people will turn. They will wax, their faith will turn. The love of many will wax cold. We don't want to be in that. We're not going to be in that group. We're going to stay faithful to Him. Stay close to Jesus, actually. Absolutely, right? All right. Let's be aware. Let's keep our preps going. Let's be safe. Let's be aware out there. Share your thoughts. God bless you. I'll see you soon.